The Middle East has long been shaped by empires. For centuries, it was contested by Britain and France, and in the modern era, by the United States and the Soviet Union. But today, a new power is rising in the region, a power with money, patience, and global ambition. That power is China. China's strategy is simple: influence through trade, investment, and diplomacy. It does not send armies, it builds ports, railways, and pipelines. It offers loans without political conditions, partnerships without lectures, and deals that many Middle Eastern leaders find irresistible. At the heart of this vision is the Belt and Road Initiative, China's plan to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe with a vast network of infrastructure. The Middle East, sitting at the crossroads of continents, has become central to Beijing's plans. Billions of dollars now flow into Saudi oil projects, Iranian railways, Egyptian industrial zones, and Gulf technology hubs. At first, Israel saw opportunity. Its companies found new markets in China for agriculture, medical technology, and cybersecurity. Chinese firms built infrastructure inside Israel itself, even winning contracts to operate the port of Haifa. For a time, it looked like a golden partnership. But beneath the surface, problems emerged. The United States, Israel's most important ally, grew deeply suspicious of China's role. Washington feared espionage, technology theft, and strategic leverage. American officials warned Israel that Chinese projects could compromise security and that Beijing's presence in Haifa could even threaten U.S. naval operations. Israel found itself caught in the middle. On one side, China offered money, investments, and markets. On the other, the United States offered protection, weapons, and diplomatic support. For a nation like Israel, survival has always depended on alliances. Choosing wrongly could be disastrous. But the greatest threat does not come from China's partnership with Israel. It comes from China's partnership with Israel's enemies. China is Iran's economic lifeline. It buys Iranian oil, invests in its infrastructure, and signs long-term deals worth hundreds of billions of dollars. This allows Tehran to resist Western sanctions, fund its military, and continue supporting groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. For Israel, this is a direct and dangerous threat. At the same time, China has strengthened ties with Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, supplying drones, surveillance systems, and technology that the United States sometimes withholds. In 2023, Beijing even brokered a historic reconciliation between Saudi Arabia and Iran, two rivals whose conflict had defined the region for decades. For Israel, the message was clear: China can play mediator, and it can shift the balance of diplomacy in the Middle East. A role once dominated by the United States is slowly being shared and perhaps one day replaced by Beijing. This new reality places Israel in a dangerous position. If China strengthens Iran, Israel faces a more resilient enemy. If China cements its influence in the Gulf, Israel risks being sidelined in regional politics. And if China becomes the Middle East's main mediator, Israel's reliance on American power could weaken. The dilemma is growing sharper. The United States now views China as its greatest rival, and it expects allies to choose sides. Israel cannot afford to lose American support, yet cutting ties with China means sacrificing billions in trade and investment. For now, Israel is trying to balance. It has tightened scrutiny of Chinese investments, canceled some sensitive projects, and reassured Washington of its loyalty. But it still trades with Beijing, still welcomes its money, and still sees opportunity in the world's second-largest economy. The question is how long this balance can last. The tighter the US-China rivalry becomes, the harder it will be for Israel to stand in the middle. The rise of China in the Middle East is not only about economics, it is about power. Beijing's influence stretches across ports, pipelines, and trade routes that bind the region into its orbit. Its money strengthens Israel's rivals, its diplomacy reshapes alliances, and its presence challenges America's dominance, the very dominance that has kept Israel secure for decades. For Israel, the threat is clear: a wealthier, more resilient Iran, a Middle East where China, not the United States, sets the agenda. and a world where the survival of Israel depends on a choice between its greatest ally and its tempting new partner. The Silk Road has returned, not with caravans and camels, but with ports, technology, and power. And as it winds through the Middle East, it carries with it a question Israel cannot avoid. Can it thrive in a world where China rises, America retreats, and the balance of power shifts against it? The answer will define the future of Israel and the future of the Middle East itself.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.